and welcome to another episode of On The Topic. I'm wearing my best Christmas jumper with flashing lights, soft reindeer horns, and gently playing the darkness's classic on repeat. Don't let the bell end. I'm Alex.
And I am chomping on a mince pie. I've got more mulled wine because apparently I'm an alcoholic. I've got a 12% stout next to me as well. I'm nursing that.
Yes.
And I've also got a really bad festive jumper on. I'm Dan.
You look good in it, Dan. And yes, it's another alternative Christmas Day message. And it's the first one, I guess, in our lifetime, Dan. Quite sad. Where it will be delivered this year by King Charles, not by Queen Elizabeth.
Indeed.
But if listener, you are jaded by the usual TV drivel, switch it off this year. Gather Granny around again, like we did last year and the year before that too, because this is now our fourth Christmas message.
Wake up, Uncle Phil.
Give him a nudge. Gather little Timmy, bring him out from the cold, and gather them all around the smart speaker as we give you another very timely, topical, well-wishing Christmas Day message.
And another reflective one.
It is. But in this episode, Dan, we are going to be talking about the year just gone.
Yep.
What we've done this year. I've got some questions, Dan, to put you on the spot. Let's do that. We never talk about
like
these
last year's.
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
Okay, we'll see how you feel in about 20 minutes.
Uh-oh.
And then we'll briefly talk about what we're looking forward to next year. But Dan, let's talk about, if I may, the year just gone.
Yep.
Been a busy one for the channel.
It has.
How many episodes have we done? You've done a tally, haven't you?
This is our 25th episode of the year.
Right.
I mean, that's down from 31 in 2021. Now, of course, 2021, we probably were busier because of, we were still in COVID. We probably had a bit more time, but now the world's sort of back to normal this year. Actually, we've been busy doing our own things.
Yeah.
March and April time was a bit of a weird period for the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did I have chicken pox, which wiped me out for about 2 weeks.
You had all of the viruses, all the good ones.
I had COVID the following month.
The big old, Rona.
So, yeah, a bit of a strange period. One of the nice things, apart from having to record remotely now and again because of our busy lives, it's good to be back to face-to-face.
It is. Being able to be in person and enjoy a brew and a good old chinwag. So 25 episodes. Not bad. But how many minutes did we churn out this year, Dan? We're going to have a little game.
Yeah.
Of higher or lower.
I remember this in 2021. This was hard.
It is. So how many minutes do you think we put out there on the Tinterweb, on the airwaves, that our listeners dutifully lapped up and listened to during 2022?
25,500 minutes.
No.
Oh.
That's quite a few minutes. But is that higher or lower? Is the next one?
Lower.
Okay, good. Right. So if it's not 25,000, what would you go for? I'd say at least 10% of that, but anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was quite a lot.
Quite a few minutes.
3,000.
No. Was it higher or lower, Dan?
Higher?
No, it wasn't higher.
Oh, it was lower.
It was lower.
I'm really bad at this game.
We could be here a while, listeners. So if you want to fast forward, keep on pressing that plus 30 seconds button. You may skip to the point where I say yes it is or I tell him the answer. But we'll give it a couple of goes.
1,200.
No. Higher or lower?
Higher.
It is higher?
1,500.
No. One last go down.
Lower.
It's not. It's higher. It's 1,750 minutes. 1,750 minutes.
Okay.
In those episodes, Dan, what were your favourites of this year? I mean, we had quite a few to choose from. I've got a couple here, but I'm interested. What have been your favourites in 2022?
I've chosen 5.
Oh, wow.
So the first one was OTT episode 47, which was Crazy Fan Film Theories.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Because there are some nutters out there on the internet ruining our favourite films.
Yeah.
In particular, The Holiday, one of our favourite festive films, where apparently Kate Winslet died. And it was all a dream.
Another really depressing one was the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
Where Harry is in a mental asylum. And that's bleak AF. It's not one to even recount on this lovely, glorious, holiest of days. So we won't talk about it. But it's a really good episode, Dan, actually. Yeah.
We also learned that Jack is a time traveller in the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
And we also had some fraudulent dinos. So the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park weren't real. But that was a fun rabbit hole to dive down.
Really good one.
Slapped a volume 1 on it because I think there are some other crazy nutters out there.
Yeah.
Spoiling our favourite films. Second one, Alex, summer banger for us. OTT 50, the 4th birthday celebration.
That was good fun.
We went over to Spice Island.
You picked fights with little Cub Scouts.
Questionable.
You did.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
There was a warrant out for your arrest.
I had a couple of pints. I was just,
got a bit of fighting.
Went out there swinging my fists about.
As long as it's all you're swinging around. But that was a really good episode. Out in the pub. Good old pubcast.
Had a small break where we had some crisps, some delicious crisps.
Yeah.
I was nursing some neck oil from Gamma Town. Yeah, that was a good evening out. And there was a picture of us by the Spinnaker.
Yeah, very romantic.
On our socials. One thing that I always enjoy is putting on the tinfoil hat.
Oh, right.
OTT episode 56. World's Strangest Mysteries. Yeah,
that was a really good one. I think the tinfoil hat sat a little bit too comfortably in that episode. Because, a lot of research. And, again, that was a volume 1, wasn't it? So I think there's going to be more.
Oh, there has to be. There's so many wild things out there in the world. We talked about ghost ships, weird creatures, disappearing people, and the one that sort of freaked me out the most was one of yours, Alex, which was feet washing up on the shore. Yeah, really odd. Very, very creepy. Fast forward to the next episode, which is OTT 57. What Grinds Your Gears Volume 2? Yep. Always enjoy a good rant. Oh, yes. A good swear. We talked about chatty dentists. Noisy train passengers. Yeah, a bugbear of both of us. Which reared its ugly head again in our previous episode. Grumpy football fans. And for a second year straight, e-scooters appeared again. Yes. And also, people who won't get out the fucking way when you're on the pavement. Oh, I know it's a festive episode. And then you're throwing yourself into the oncoming traffic. I mean, I know it's festive. I know we should be cheerful, but it happened to me the other day. I was walking home from work, and the pavements in Portsmouth are quite narrow. Yeah. And there was like 2 or 3 people taken up, and all I wanted to do was get past so I could get on my way home. Did they move? No. I had to go into the road. Anyway, enough of that. You can go listen to episode 57. You can hear us rant there. And get sweary. Yeah. And 5th favourite episode, OTT 61, Halloween Special 2022. That's made my list. Did it? Yeah. Very educational. Yeah, very interesting. It was fun to sort of learn about our local history, the locations and some of the people, and actually it creeped me out a little bit. Yes, same. It doesn't usually have that effect on me when we do these Halloween episodes in the last couple of years, but that one in particular, I went home into my car, I was like, I'm driving around some of the places that we've talked about. Might have to leave the lights on tonight. It's a really interesting one. And you don't have to be a resident of Portsmouth to enjoy it. It's still a really good, interesting kind of historical trip down. Yeah. Down around the local area. It's really, really good. I mean, the Halloween episodes only really started in 2020, so we talked about our personal experiences in that one. Mm-hmm. Last year we did a tour around the UK, and I thought this year it would be interesting to do something local. Portsmouth, Southsea, Porchester, Fareham, that sort of area. Yeah. I think next year we're going to go worldwide. Why not? Why the hell not? But yeah, that was a really good episode. And an honourable mention, actually, to episodes 52, 54 and 63. Do you know what they were, Alex?
No.
They were our on-the-go episodes, so straight out of the cinema. So 52 was Jurassic World Dominion, where we had Claire with us.
That's good fun.
She didn't want to get involved, bless her. She sat in the background, enjoyed watching us talk while we made our way through Gunwolf. 54 was Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yep.
And 63, which was a slightly different format to what we did with previous on-the-go episodes, we actually did a talk on the way to the cinema.
We did.
Expectations. That was good fun. And then obviously the walk back. How we got through that entire evening, I don't know. We were both very ill with colds.
We were, but we managed it. And it was an interesting take.
And I'm sure we were both crying on the way home.
There were plenty of tears and red eyes. The other one I was going to add down, because I've got OTT 61 and there's Halloween, was OTT 42. Of course, you know what this is.
I should know what it is.
You have a very good memory, so I'm surprised you don't. It's Unsung Heroes and Misunderstood Villains.
Yeah, that was an early one.
And that was a really interesting one because actually we had an awful lot of listener interaction, and we celebrated perhaps those sidelined heroes and heroines that perhaps didn't get the limelight but were still there, and if they weren't there, they would never have seen success or seen the happier days in the end. And some villains actually weren't all that bad.
Just a bit misunderstood.
I think so. And that's a really good one. So it's OTT 42, as you say. It was the early part of the year. I think it was Jan or Feb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Go give it a listen, because actually those two were, I think, the highlights for me. All those were good, but those two were particularly good, and definitely the last one, 42, was fantastic.
The episode I did the Gollum impression.
You did the Gollum impression.
Shit.
Yeah.
Just freaking people out.
Very good impression. Now, if we look then to what we wanted to do this year, Dan, last year, well, let's go back into the time machine and let's have a listen to perhaps a little younger looking Alex and Dan, and have a listen about what they wanted to do during 2022.
I would love to get more guests on the show.
Good shout.
I would love to get more guests, and these are the people that I would like to sort of speak to the most.
Oh, he's already got a list.
I've got 3 people on my list, but of course there are more. I know we sort of tried to reach out to a couple this year and they've fallen through, but it is what it is. What about you, Alex? Is there anything that you particularly fancy doing in 2022?
More film reviews, Dan.
Yeah.
I know it's been difficult in the last 18 months, 2 years to actually do one of them, because unless they're going to be straight to TV, we haven't been able to go to cinema much. But, optimistic hat on. I think I'd like to do more of that, go to cinema, make use of the roaming mics, and I think have some fun there. And as you say, probably get some more FaceTime, either, face-to-face or on Zoom. Some more local people, hear their stories and see how they're getting on. And so we said, Dan, we want to do more film reviews, use more of those roaming mics.
Yeah.
And as you eloquently summarised, yes, we had the Doctor Strange, Jurassic World Dominion, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever on the goes. And they were great episodes. And we use these glorious mics that we're talking on today a little bit more. And actually, I think it just goes to show, actually, we can do even more with the podcast remotely. And perhaps that opens up other things. But I really enjoyed doing more of those on the goes.
Yeah.
Because it gives you an honest review, and we can do it spoiler free, and we have. But, a bit of AMSR, I always get it wrong. The thing online where people lose their minds over the sound of reality. So if you want to have a listen around what it sounds like to wander aimlessly with some kind of direction, the streets of Portsmouth late at night, then have a listen on those episodes, because they're really, really good.
It's quite fun to get your raw thoughts down as well, because, when we go into the big reviews afterwards, we've probably had about a week to digest what we've just watched. And that's probably why I really enjoyed Wakanda Forever, especially. And, walking to the cinema and actually getting those raw thoughts down of what our expectations were, and then coming out of the cinema and doing a spoiler-free review, did those expectations get met? And then again, you can sort of reflect on those thoughts. I mean, I don't think my mind ever really changed with the on-the-go things, but it does happen.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's often the hype machine, but that one was unique. But I know I think we made good on some of our wishes for this year. But Dan, not to go too much into our most anticipated, which will be no doubt in the next week or two. But what do you want to do more in on a podcast for the channel next year? So anything in particular?
I would love to do more on the go episodes.
Yeah, even more
of them. You know, I say this year we need to do 3 or 4 of them. Next year, let's go all out. Let's get some more of them done.
Let's go out in the wild.
There's plenty of good films out next year, so we'll probably talk about those in most anticipated 2023.
Yeah.
This year was a bit odd. We actually didn't get any of the guests on the show that we really wanted to. We didn't get any guests at all. I mean, I look at it and I suppose I understand why we probably couldn't get them. You know, emails get lost in the ether. People are now back to normal. You know, they're probably back to being busy again after a pandemic, where it was actually quite easy to pick these people up during a pandemic and get them on the pod, but they're probably just busy. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we might be able to get some of these people on. I know it's always a bit of a big dream. I mentioned this last year. Still want to get Staggering Good on.
Yeah.
Talk about brewery. Some dino breweries. Mackie Brewery. Again, not far from Staggering Good. Really nice brewery to check out, Alex, if you're ever in the area. 360 Degrees in Sussex. I've got a friend who works there, and he reckons he can get some people on the pod for us. Still trying to get Joey from Morbid and Mundane on the show.
Yeah.
Alex.
Hello.
Before I mention my last one, Joey thinks people wouldn't be interested in hearing about Morbid Mundane and all that stuff. What would you say to him if he's listening to this now?
Well, he is listening, and that's nonsense. I think it's an interesting proposition that Joey's got. He's built a brand, a social media presence. He's got a clothing identity, which is built without any help. And he's got some wonderful clothing, and his style and his artwork is fantastic. You know, and whilst there are other brands out there, I think Joey's is unique. And as I say, he's done it unhindered, but also he hasn't had an awful lot of help at all.
No.
And it's great stuff. And I'm really proud to wear his clothes because they are unique. You know, there's not one time that I'm not in the office and so I was, what's that? Well, it's Morbid and Mundane. It's a local clothing brand. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, it's an interesting anecdote. It's true. I've been stopped 1 or 2 times in the office. So, and usually people are saying, Alex, can you put some more clothes on? This time they're saying, what are you wearing? As opposed to Alex, put some trousers on because you're flashing the office and we're getting complaints from HR. But yeah, no, 100%. I think he's got a story to tell. I think it's a really interesting one. Because there'll be people out there that think, I want to do a side hustle, or I really want to convert my love or my hobby into something perhaps that can make some additional beer pennies or whatever. So yeah, I definitely think there's something there to be discussing. I
mean, we always want to hear about people's stories, like where did they start, what inspired it, where are they now, where do they want to be. And, you know, I put out on our socials all the time. If you know someone or if you are someone that wants to share those stories, just get in touch.
Yeah, give a shout.
We'll put in the contact details at the end. Still trying to tap up Strong Island recordings.
Yes.
Again, maybe the email got lost in the ether. Maybe I didn't push hard enough. I don't know. Maybe Strong Island clothing. Possibly. And there's loads of other little like indie businesses and artists that, you know, I'd like to try and tap up.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to make any promises that I can't fulfill because, say, 2022, we didn't get anyone.
I say that.
It's making me sad.
It's a busy time and people are finding their feet and hopefully getting back to some normality. But yeah, hopefully we'll find some chatty Cathys and we can speak to them.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Was there anything in 2022 that or should I say 2023 that you're looking forward of doing?
Probably some more rabbit holes, Dan.
Grabbing the tinfoil hats.
I love it. I think it's really interesting, especially as we never exchange notes. So you don't know what I'm going to talk about, and there's some really interesting backwater stories and places to investigate. So I think more of those episodes would be good. And yeah, more on the goes. I think they're raw, but they're honest, and I think they're really interesting to record, but also to kind of hopefully as a listener to listen back to. So I think those two for me is what I want to do next year.
Do love a good left field episode.
Yeah,
something that got to put the tinfoil hat on, go down that rabbit hole, and again, it just goes wild. You sort of find one thing and you sort of get dragged onto something else. And the thing that I always find fascinating, it always ties back to some of our previous episodes.
Always. It's all connected.
World Mysteries. No, it was the Halloween episode. And it tied us back to OTT 2, where we talked about urban
folklore
legends.
And urban legends. Yeah.
Spring Hill Jack.
Yeah.
Dance around the graveyard up the road from you, Alex.
Who'd have thought? It's fascinating stuff. So yeah, more of those things, I think, for me, Dan.
Awesome. Is that it?
Is it?
Oh my God.
I think Granny's nodded off in the corner. Go get her a sherry, Dan.
Yeah.
Let's go wake her up. Go kick Timmy back out into the cold. He's had his 20 minutes. He's thawed out. He's get outside again.
Yeah.
Throw another log onto the fire.
Top up your mulled wine.
And go and have a bite to eat from some leftover cold turkey or mince pies or like that custard. Because that's another Christmas Day message wrapped.
It is. And we're winding down for the Christmas period now.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in 2023. Oh my God, it sounds weird saying that. Back in 2023.
I know.
Well, it's actually not that far away.
It's not. Just round the corner with our most anticipated.
Our annual most anticipated, where you can tell us about films you're looking forward to, TV series, whether that's Netflix, Amazon Prime,
whatever,
terrestrial TV, whatever, music albums, computer games, books, the lot. We want to know what you're looking forward to. So get in touch. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at On The Topic Pod. We've got Gmail, which is on the topic podcast at gmail.com. And Alex, we've got WordPress and YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube we'll probably be up to date come the spring, but every week we're releasing 2 episodes on there, so you've got absolutely no reason to not listen to any of our episodes. The whole back catalogue is on there currently. And yes, our website is on the topicpodcast.wordpress.com. Go have a look, have a listen, because you can stream any of our episodes, our whole back catalogue, all the way back from the weekly roundup days. You can subscribe to a newsletter and be alerted when a new episode is live. You can go and visit Joey, that you mentioned, Morbid and Mundane, and go and visit his Etsy website. You can see our ugly mugs and our bios. It's all on there. So go give it a visit. Go have a look around, because it's all there for your viewing pleasure.
Indeed. Well, I better get back onto my mulled wine.
Yeah.
As you can hear, I'm already staggering and stuttering around.
Yes.
I've been Dan.
And I'm going to go and put my face into a big bowl of mince pies and go into a food coma. I'm Alex.
And we'll see you in 2023.
Bloopers. Hello and welcome to the latest